Blessings and welcome forward to Reasonings right here at the Tree of Life. I'm your host, Talako the Great Owl, and today we find ourselves in the yard. And for those who do not know, in the yard, that is the yard of Earl Chinner Smith, the renowned, the great. And this is a Friday afternoon for those who are following up the vibes right here in Jamaica. And it's the 6th St. Andrew Park, and this is the heart of Halfway Tree. And the beauty about it is, this is a place where many years ago, this was the first place I came to do a recording. And it was also because of Earl Chinner Smith that I made my first official recording at Tough Gong Studio. So Earl Chinner Smith is connected to the legendary Bob Marley. And so the heritage of Jamaican music has been secured right here in the yard. And in a moment, we'll take you around and show you some of the different sights, sounds, and experiences in this wonderful afternoon. It's a central hub for artists. Many years ago I was here. The first recording we did that went out into the world with Cedric Myton and the Congos and the Scatterlights. Oh my God, it was an amazing time. And also over the years I met members of the band Korn right here one day as well too. Many greats I've encountered here in this space. It's been an amazing journey. And even though I don't look it, I've been circulating this place for 20 years, So the journeys continue as we talk about heritage and culture, because, as we are looking into the reality and the realization that culture, in a lot of sense, have lost its momentum in terms of its particular space, in terms of the musical environment, the musical vibration, in terms of the experience of what music ought to be in the psyche of the collective subconscious and conscious. We have lost that rhythm and tempo, because now the essence of what is called mystical or sacred music to us as reggae music has been transposed into modern versions of reggae. And there are many aspirations and viewpoints upon that, but it has lost depth of clarity in some regard, sometimes the sweetness of passion, purpose, and meaning, and in other points, it's just lost musicality and sacred timing. So Tree of Life has always been devoted to preserving the indigenous, the authentic, the autochthonous culture, spiritual, even religious, hallelujah, perception, right? So we have never departed from that. So interesting, when I was here, I ran into Kenardo, or Ken Ellis as he goes by now, Tree of Life, When I came through the door, I also saw Israel Weiss, my cousin, It's a journey always to meet the different artists, to see the different viewpoint, and to see how the culture is staying alive, keeping alive in its inconsistency of late, But we give thanks. Talako the Great Owl, once again, Tree of Life Television Network, right here in the yard, 6 St. Andrew Park, Kingston, Jamaica, you know what I mean? Heights and areas always, So we catch up with you guys as we go further. Let me just show you the environment and we get back to you, right? Do bear with me. Okay, there we go. As you can see, guys, a very colorful green space right in the city. It has that natural element of music, nature, and a lot of artistry, a lot of artists as well too. So like I said, on Friday nights, which tonight is, we all get together. Well, Bingi Straw is one of their movement of bringing the Bingi, that is a traditional Rastafari music, into like the orchestration of being, like, as we say, the highest quality of, fine music, the highest level, like the orchestra, the orchestration of word, sound, and power. And I've had the privilege, to perform a few times with the early settings of Bingi Straw. And Bingi Straw, a different vibration, musicality. So as we go forward, viewer, subscriber, Jamaica has seen a kind of depreciation in music that is, let's say, metaphysical in nature. We still have some of the religious musical compositions going on. However, it has lost a lot of that deep metaphysical question that we ask of ourselves. We ask of civilization, we ask of nature, we ask of creator, we ask of the powers that be, the prevailing monarchs of the monarchical status, and also we talk about governmental institution, we talk about the people who have us in subjugation. You know, we say we are free, but we're not full free. It means we're not sovereign citizens. The mercantile still rule, you know, so we're basically still under mercantilism, admiralty law, laws of the sea, you know what I mean? So we're still dispossessed of our estates, and it's unfortunate, even this dispersion, that, you know, we have lost fervor to fight to reclaim our lost estate and to come out of the numb the gear operating through just LA policies. You know, we need to return to just sanguineous policies of remembering our autochthonous heritage, you know, indigenous status, you know, real nation state and destiny, full free, not under ideological premise or conditioning. We know how it goes in these intellectual maxims and axioms, right? And it's all about misdirection, isn't it so? And the culture suffers. So what is the culture? Well, it is something that is substantive beyond what is physical, a movement of moralizing, socializing, and basically motivation. It is perpetual. It has a place where it can be fundamental, the laws of behavior, the laws and structure of tradition. How we did life ancient-wise, how we're doing life in the present. It has formulation, it has a sense of retention, but it also has a progression of each generation having value, but the value has to be rooted, just like roots, in what has been, the previous, in the hidden, in what is past, what we call ancestral. So without continuity, it loses fervor, fervence, and value, and that is what is the most important thing, that there's still music being produced called reggae, there's still music being produced that is seemingly hip-hop, but is it truly what hip-hop is? Is it truly what reggae is? Does it have the soul, the passion, that fire that is celestial beyond time and space, a fire of the time-space continuum? How are we going along in this day and age? Does the music still alight the atoms, the quarks, the Higgs and the bosons in the biology? Does it still excite the very nature of the electrons and the neutrons and the protons? Do we come alive? Not like a robot or a machine, but like the wind in sequence in 432 megahertz, in 7.83 megahertz, yeah? In Fibonacci, in Schumann resonance. Does it come together in the alignment of the solfeggio? What about people who are hooked on the platonic solids, right? Where are we in this divergence of looking at ourselves only in past, present, and future? Straight line dynamics. What about Terence Howard and this curved line, non-Euclidean geometry and mathematics? These things are perpetual in culture. Canada, come bless up the people, the man say, Kennellis, true alive. Yeah man, see my man, come sit down with the people them see him.
Yeah, we're on a mission still.
He have to make a 1 second.
Pick up the island.
Yes, True Life Television Network, TrueLife.com, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
From the college till now.
From right, see.
Up, no say nothing.
See, it's your mighty one.
Yes,
True Life School.
every time.
Big up Edna man every time.
Aye.
All of the ones that know the tree. You know what I mean? From one tree to the next.
See it.
See? Yes.
Honorable.
Yes, sir.
Majestic. So, people, once again, like we said, to add value to the reality as we grow in culture. This is a foundation, you know, because we would have grown up on the music of Bob Marley that brought a certain level of clarity. And before Marley, there were others who, in the time before, you know, in Mentor and in Ska, had reached a point of evolving the music, growing the music, but also growing the perception. Because remember, subjugation made us think less of ourselves. And this is why culture is important, because if we keep thinking in terms of limitations, one of the things that will continue is a perpetual downward spiral or limited outlook in terms of even people being unable to educate themselves beyond the ideologies, right? To even learn the proper dynamics of structure and language, right? What we're calling etymology and even nomenclature. knowing the value of words. This is the things that music brings very clear. A lot of us don't speak with the perfect English or Jamaican or whatever accent. It's not about perfection of accent or sound or pitch or key or chord. It's understanding the mathematical divergence that holds it all together. All the different sequence of calculation. It's breathing, it's breath control, but it's fire, right? It's celestial fire, it is anode fire, right? It's not cathode, so it is a living fire that when it leaves the soul, we are cold and lifeless. So culture is alive, it's fire, it's movement, it's dance, it's synchronicity of biological movement. It is not just Fibonacci, it is circadian, right? This is the thing that I think is missing in the metaphysics, that we're so externalized in systems like the Roman Empire transposed into the modern as Babylon America and its foreign policy, right, of mass genocide and manipulation, right? It's like we are so afraid to speak in the modern nomenclatures of the subjugation of our people. We're speaking about our captivity in Babylon millennia ago, you know, or eons ago, whichever way you want to say it. That the dynamism we need now to analyze our present reality is lost. As the information age comes forward, revelation has brought forward so much information. And now the standard models of Copernicus, you know, are being destroyed because it destroyed the biblical model, which was the ancient model. You know, so under the domes, under the firmament, here we are, right? So Tree Life has always been a provocative space for the divergence of information, because all minds have a celestial fire as long as they have not put it out. And the essence of it, if you keep it burning, inspiration will always be forwarding. And so you will not have to go back into that recycle, where you are devolving instead of evolving, you know? You are stagnating instead of growing, you know? But expanding consciousness, expansive consciousness, expanding awareness, expansive awareness, and the expanded awareness, as the expanded consciousness suggests. That's the movement of the universe, time and space. Charge and discharge, beyond early models of charge and spin. Charge and discharge are cycle in my own dynamics, charge and recharge, because it effectively discharge is the component of recharge. Oxygen, carbon dioxide dissolved in the hemoglobin. That is how energy is diffused, right, from one molecular component to another, right? And then it's transposed into a liquid quotient added to the cells and the vascular, muscular, endocrine system, vibrational harmonization transferred as happy feelings, yeah, affecting the environmental fields in the circulation of the circadian. You can affect the atmosphere, and the atmosphere can affect you. So if we're talking about healing, restoration, then we have to talk about the vibrations in the living spirit, rising the vibration beyond what is past and constantly recycling what is past, losing the present, not seeing Babylon America, not seeing the policies of these regimes that is currently taking out our estates even further, doctrines of discovery that the Pope has apologized for, but there needs now to be lawsuits, there needs now to be a lot of class action suits and governmental suits, not just in the premise of reparation, but against the dissolving of our family estates that have been transposed into European hands. Billions upon billions of resources that has been mal and misappropriated, that are legal cases because of the liens they have taken against our ancestry through the bond certification system, right? We have due process, and through imposed false jurisdiction and jurisprudence, a lot of our people have been convicted wrongfully under a fraudulent system that have defrauded us, robbed us, and again disseminated false information about our heritage, culture, and place in society. This is no longer acceptable, hallelujah. It will no longer be tolerated, because the age has far sped forward in the present, and maybe there is not enough of us who are still remembering the fire that burns in the living sun, that the true living soul, S-O-L, the fire within the anode, that is the breath. A lot of people are forgetting the breath. They have become cold and callous, right? Siphoned off like the radiant the radium and the radiant fireplace. The energy has been siphoned, toxic. Yeah, it's on the verge, the edge, teetering point of insanity. There's not a centralized circular system like it was back in the Atlantean times, right? This wholeness of society, this circular nature of society, the beneficial at all levels, it's still there in belief, in spirituality, in psychology, and in old way of life. The system of the barter is still there, not just as a modern economic system to take over from capitalism or socialism as a political view and economic policy, but beyond these things, that the culture must be alive again. We're talking about Africa Unite, as Bob Marley said, giving a spiritual message to a political edge with a political edge, It's not all just ideological. Borders and frontiers need to be broken, yeah? Lots of things need to come down, yeah? And the redemarcation of what we call these imaginary lines of nation-state borders and frontiers. Remember, Haile Selassie had said, that we owe our allegiance in the new times to a brother and sisterhood of man, not alleged to any form of political, which is economic, mercantile construct, The people who has the soul and the fire of the soul, the healing spirit, will harmonize in music, in trade, in all manner of cultural and spiritual, hallelujah, exchange. And this is the way forward. This is the way of the Aquarian age, right? This is the way of the movement from the Piscean forward into the Aquarian. This is the manifestation of Christ's kingdom of 1,000 years, that a new political, social, economic, religious system shall be afforded in fulfillment of what has been a new Jerusalem, new heavens and a new earth. Yeah, a reorientation of our belief systems in actuality. Culture does not die. Yeah, it transforms, hallelujah, and reforms its own sense of self and well-being. And so people say it's the youth, but it's not just the youth. It's actually the challenging of old patterns, even those who are present, because who are present are the pillars who own the foundations of the next level. So if it's not harmonized, the harmonics are off, then we are transposed to be as we are. But we're going to break this recycle and go forward in faith and actuality as we organize and centralize, as His Majesty said, and with faith and Yeshua Mashiach, Jesus Christ, as our guiding light, we will carry forward. Just reminding all the people who have lost faith in the music, the culture, the way of life that we call the way of the 12 tribes, the 13 kingdoms. Don't lose heart, beloved. You'll be sifted like wheat, remember. Don't forget. And because of this sifting, we will be known amongst the many amassings, right? And as the message goes out in the new times again, to a new and emerging generation, but to an old and waning generation of a restoration that is present and is with us. Let us sing it and chant it. Let us elevate, our new place in the old reality for the continuity of the ancient guidepost, right? So until next time, this has been Taloku the Great Owl, As Kennedy say, he's called me Sage or Grandmaster Sage, but as we talk about growth, coming out of numb the gear and assume names and such to Just Soleil and rights of estate, it's Taloku the Great Owl. And I'm not a part of the mercantile, because I tell you I couldn't go and register my name under any kind of mercantile or depot system to act the smart, right? I am not stock nor bond. You understand me? I'm not a product, or am I a service? As I would always remind you, we offer products and services. We are near products and services, right? So, once again, do align to the privileged nature of understanding peace, incarnate, in presence, in that healing, relaxation, letting go of the heaviness, just coming down off the high horses we hold in the positions and just chill and let it all out. And listen to some good reggae music that will lift up your countenance, lift up your awareness, return to a vibrational harmonization, resonance, 432, 60 beats per minute, 60 BPM, right? Yeah, in sync with our heartbeat. They say in Trail Life we talk about the heartbeat telegraphics, right? That the heart produces a vibrational field that is graphic, that is image-based, as well as it's frequency-based. So we're not saying love is just a frequency. We're saying it's an imaging, and the imaging is a part of the material cortex, right? Yeah, we co-create reality, and as co-creating reality, that material resonance as well as the spiritual resonance create the, what we call the alignments, right? And keep the alignments, timelines, which is the different living beings. You know, we always talk about all these different timelines, but they're all in one root. All the different timelines are the different generations, the different bloodlines, and how they have diverged through time and space, you know? And how the old guards still hold the power in terms of all of the gates, you know? They're still on the 4 gates, and, you know, revolution still beckons afar off, but revolution beckons. And like I said, it will catch fire in 2024 in the new reality as the Aquarian age comes in. Hallelujah. It will catch fire. So catch a fire yet again will be, yeah, as a new incarnate Marley in terms of the personality and the perspectives will manifest itself. Even though we know the Enochians have tried to stop it many times, but it's not a matter of time, it's always a matter of timing and sequential alignment, and the equations are just the attempt to dissect what is not dissectable, inexplicable and indistinguishable, infatigably the most divine. And so that will rise again. The heights of the energy, that is, whether you want to call it the fluxes or the central point of the energy, right? You know, the 0 point, hallelujah. Whatever it is, it will manifest again. And again, those who are thinking that they're on a high will become onto a tottering fence and will, hallelujah, tumble over again. And so it will cause the new force field into the, what we call the storms and the inner pupillary, right? My daddy would say electrical storms on the brain, short circuitry of mental patterns, and will lead to degenerative disease like more schizophrenic, more Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, you understand me? More short circuitry in epileptic seizures and such, you know, photosensory disorders and such as we go forward. As the expanded bandwidth will short circuit at a lower frequency and burn up, you know. Yeah, too much fission. But it's always awesome to see though, you know, in all of that, that there has to be that central core that comes and just cools the atomics, right? That cools all those burning phalanges, right? Yeah, the fasci and the hatchet, you know, won't rule forever. And though the eagle of Rome is the eagle of modern Babylon, there's a point they soar in the heavens, but there's a point when it all comes crashing, hallelujah, down. Blue Katrina, red Katrina, you know what I mean? In the blink of an eye, how was Babylon fallen in 1 hour, shall be said. You know, the great America has become the waste of the world. What a turn as modern Babylon faces its own judgment. But yet many have become harloted and in the revelry of her sins, they're drinking deep, yeah, and snorting on the pipes of perversion. And so Babylon has extended its grip in vassal all the way into the dynamics of every function, you know. The hatchet and the fasci still suppressing, depressing and destroying. Culture cries out. The souls of the ancient cries out. Revolution, revolution. More than just a word, one day it will become a song once again. More than just a song, it will become the energy. More than just the energy, it will become flesh and bones, manifest as rhythm and timing and tempo, as fire and blood, as revolution, as restoration. Hallelujah. It will, once again, break the horns of our oppressors. Yeah? Oh, the mighty bull. Oh, that bull market. The arrows of time has hit its target. Down with the harlot, she will go down. Oh, what sins and fornication and perversion. Oh, what RNA has done to 10565. Oh, what deception. Why is there no music that has this assertion, understanding, dichotomy, and clairvoyance? Where is it really, my people? His music only become this streaming engine, streaming engine, streaming engine. So how it is? Just a engine, the gin that is inside. Yeah, that is an autogen program from remote sightings. This engine, you know, is not a genius. It's a loss of ingenuity. It's disingenuous. So we've lost chorus, rhythm, and timing. So there's aberration. There's no sequential harmonization. So the flesh changes. It's ether, it's etheric. The assemblage shifts. Matter dissolves, reconstruct, what we say, natural vipers, natural born disseminators, mutations, mutant, mutated generation, regeneration. But where's the real generation? Here we are, as amongst all nations. Fire continues. So as we add it and return it to culture, we give thanks that we've had the opportunity once again to share with you, right here, as I say, in the yard. Yeah, we are so much souls realigned for creative harmonization. You can go online and check out the Inner the Yard, page. You can check them out on Facebook, and it's Inner, INNADIYARD, Inner the Yard. I think it's DE, yeah, not DI, DE, INNADEYARD, Inner the Yard, right? Now you can check that out. Facebook, YouTube them. You see a lot of videos, and sometimes they're live streaming content. So once again, this is the home of, senior maestro, Sir Chinua Smith, and we give thanks for the heritage of that being that bridge from that old generation that was is foundation stone and continuity of the previous generation to this new generation. So we give thanks. Share Life Television Network on YouTube and ShareLife.com, Talaku, the Great Owl. Give thanks for all of the Share Life team and crew that makes this possible. And give thanks for you, for your donations and for your reservations to our retreats, to our different spiritual healing and therapy sessions, and for the investment in the different business and economic ventures that we get ourselves up to. Blessings, my life. And we give thanks just for the continuity that we can share and continue to, inspire, be inspired, and aspire to greater heights and depths, width and breadth of clarity. Love, light, and blessings. Sooner next time. Zine. We're up on the scene. We're up on the scene. I seen. I'm seen. On the scene. I'm seen. On the scene. Oh, Zine. Yes, real.